Mike, just can you just speak to back and forth game, just kind of some of the resiliency there, and kind of how do you sum up, what you saw to kind of complete this sweep?
Yeah, we make things interesting. You know what? The game took a lot of turns tonight. Again, good start through the first, and I thought there was a lot of energy in the building, so I want to say thank you to the people that came out tonight. Guys stuck with it. As much as maybe Daniel's been through here recently, for him to come in and shut the door the way that he did, and we needed him to, It's hard to win in our league, and for us to be down the way we were and to come back and find a way to get it done is a really important weekend for us.
When you make a goalie change, I know it could go any number of ways. I can't imagine it could go much better for you guys as a team or for Daniel than the way it did tonight. What did you see from him in terms of composure, poise in that situation to do what he needed to do there?
Pretty quiet kid, but you can tell he's a competitor, and Pulver gets the start tonight after last night. The one thing I've really appreciated about him is just his approach to things. Sometimes you want a little more, but I think that fire inside him is burning a little hotter than I think, just because he's not a real emotional guy. But I mean, we bent tonight, and he was the one that didn't allow us to break. He didn't allow him to get the next one. That's a long time coming for us between the posts. And if we're going to make any noise moving forward, we need that. And, hopefully this is a confidence builder for him, because it wasn't like he wasn't tested. He was.
Fitzgerald gets the big goal, but in the end, there is 20 seconds left. He's also blocking a shot and clearing the puck. I mean, that's the two ends of his game, right? That how valuable he is on one end and how valuable he is on the other end for you to put him out there with that much time left and protecting a lead.
Well, and one thing I really liked, we'd talked a little bit during today when we were at the rink this morning. I think he can be an impactful player every single night. And, I asked a couple of things of him. I just said, hey, you know what, we need you on the ice. Going over the box, I understand you get frustrated and you compete. But it was just really an adult conversation with a player, and just letting him know how much we need him to be on the other side of it. And you like seeing those guys get rewarded. I thought again tonight, and maybe Seven didn't have the impact that he had tonight that he did last night, but who ends up making the play to Fitzgerald? And just a delay, like his patience on that entry and kicking it to him when he did. And the one thing that I loved about it is Fitzy can shoot a puck. And at times this year he's deferred, and he didn't tonight. And, that's something hopefully we can build on for him. He's been good the last 3 games.
You looked pretty physical out there, but there was only one penalty for your guys. Just can you speak to, sort of for the most part staying clean in that aspect and how maybe that helped things?
We discussed that today. We've gone through a stretch here where, there hasn't been a lot of love sprinkled around, right? It's been a bit of a grind. And we just talked about making sure that we don't stack the chips any steeper than they need to be through frustration penalties, stick penalties. Tonight, the refs let both teams play, and it was back and forth. I don't know what their coach is going to say, but for me, we're going a good direction offensively. 5-on-5, our power play was okay. The power play we had tonight, but we didn't have to rely upon it. Now we've got to make sure we go back and start from our end all the way to the other end and making sure we're tightening things up defensively.
It's a big goal for Tassie to get back on the score sheet, and especially in the way that he's had so much success on that earlier in the season. What'd you feel about that for him? And it looked like he was taking something off his back, coming back to the bench there to kind of symbolically show what it's been like.
I appreciate you bringing that up for one reason. I had a little chat with him today, and the first thing I asked, I said, "How you doing?" You know, and he immediately went to, I've got to find a way to contribute, and so I tried to steer him away from that a little bit because I think there's a lot more substance to what he can bring than just scoring. But you know what? When he gets in there, he's a load to handle, and it was a big goal. I thought that goal was emblematic of a little bit of our push tonight compared to recently, where at times we've gone away, and tonight we didn't.
Fourth line seemed to have a pretty good weekend. I mean, Botterill gets the one, they have the goal waved off, and it really actually wasn't really a fourth line. You played him the second line coming through. That I was wondering what that message was, I guess. I don't know if that's a message, but when the line that's listed fourth goes out second, that tells you that something's going right, and you can ride them, right?
Well, I told him today at our meeting, you know, I talked to Pietala and told that whole line, I said, you're going to go up against Mazzotti's line all night. You've earned it. And, you know, there were times that Morrissey's line was up, and as soon as Mazzotti went over, 17's group went over. One thing I love about Pietala, as we came back, I said, who was offsides? That was me, right? I mean, he's a guy that just owns what he does, good and bad. But to make the play, we just needed some of that positive momentum right now. Now, what do we do with it, right, this week? But I'm really excited for the guys to just take a deep breath, understand we've got a lot of work to do. But for us to find a way to win last night's game after some of the things that happened and to be down tonight, to stay with it, those are important points right now.
Anything else, you guys? Okay.
Thank you.